So what I do for this is, well, I use cheats, but it's not really cheaty. Say I first put down what I want, depending on what it is. This won't shape the ground over there, it'll just shape the ground here, which is fine. But it will change the whole ground area, so then I can shape the ground myself. So before I started, I marked down what my construction cost and in the financial screen was for the month, and right now it's 0 spent, 0 gained. So then I just place that. Ooh, I probably want it back just a little bit. Like I'll probably want it like right there. So let me get this and do that again. Yeah, that's probably about where I want it. So let me get rid of the grass on this side so I can actually see about where the shaping needs to be, because this wouldn't be too bad for shaping, but I don't want it quite like that. Like I want that to actually be on there. So now I'm going to get rid of this again and then shape this area, this square, and then slope the area up to there. So landscape sculpting. See, I probably want it to be closer to this because this would be the part near the trees would be the hardest to reshape. So I'm gonna level it to like there. Oh, I'm gonna have to move because I'm in the way. So oh, that should not have gone down that far. I must have released it at some point without thinking. No, maybe it is really that far down, but that's fine. It'll be fixed later. But the point is, I don't want the part by the forest to shape or to change too much. And uh, it is changing more than I wanted. I forgot to turn off autosave. Hopefully that's not okay. Let me turn off autosave. Then go back in there. If it had saved, I would have just uh, used a backup save. That right about there. And then I'll go into here again and see if that's about the area. Okay, I have to go more in front. Square this off a bit. Okay, so that's probably good. Oh no, I'm still, it's probably fine. So then I will go to slope and slope to there. Slope to there. slope to there. That looks like it's going to be a problem, so I'm gonna slope to there. Then that will be easier to smooth. And then do the same thing on over on this side. Okay, I'm gonna want slope to there. And then I'm gonna keep that point because that's a corner. Slope to there. And this is where it's going to be awkward because I don't want to change the road area too much. So if I slope to here from like here, that might have been too much, but let me just smooth out a lot of this. Yeah, that might be too much. I might have to raise this up a bit. And then smooth it again. And let's smooth it from this side. I mean, it is a pasture. It doesn't have to be totally flat. I just don't want it to be too bad. But this is why I turn off autosaving, because if this doesn't work out how I want it to, then I can just, instead of trying to fix it, I can just revert or not save and just exit, and it'll be reverted back to how I started this. Okay, this is why I bring my truck or any vehicle close though, is because now I can go get in my truck and let's make sure my road is fine. That's the most important part. It's okay. And then, yep, that's way steeper than it looked like in build mode. And I already knew that, oh, actually, that's not even that bad. Okay, so I had to fix that corner a little bit. This is fine. That looks fine. Maybe smooth this side out a little bit, and it was around here. I have to smooth out a little more. And let's see how that is. Okay, that's I mean, it wasn't a totally flat land anyway, so it's okay to have some hill. That's much better. That seems fine. Oh, I was going to smooth this out a little bit, wasn't I? That's actually probably fine. Okay, so now it's time to put down the real sheep area. Animals, sheep. This again. I'm going. Oh, the mouse was off the mouse pad and it was making it awkward. Okay, so that is probably still a little more than I wanted, slope wise, but it's also probably fine. Okay, how, as long as you're not off the ground, or at least not much off the ground, then it's probably fine. Let me go up. Yeah, it slopes more than I thought it would. But let me go up. And see if it, okay, they do go all the way under. So it's likely okay. Put those back in. I'm going to save it here. I am going to get a bunch of animals just to see how if they're floating or anything. Okay, you're actually laying down, you're not sunk into the ground. It looks like they're all right. See your legs, so you're laying down. Like these guys aren't floating. So that's decent enough slope that's not bugging them out. Let's see if I can, where's the ones that are laying down? Oh, that's because I haven't removed the grass in that area. Let me find one that's laying down so I can watch him for a little while. Yep, it looks fine. So now I'm going to exit the game and go back into what I had saved before I bought the animals. So now I can put the fence down. So I won't want the fence to extend much beyond this pole or that pole because that's into the forest. Yeah, so I'm probably just gonna put the fence pretty much around what's shown. Decoration fence. Now to figure out what kind of fencing I want. I go with the barbed wire. That looks. Oh, I thought I had the free fence modded. I like to make up my own numbers. But I will still make up my own numbers. That's why I marked down how much I've already spent and gotten in the current month so that I can just refund myself the money and then put what I think would be thing. So there's barbed wire. I mean, I do have there's that barbed wire. I think I'm liking that a little better. I think what's left is just like stone. Oh wait, no, I'm not where I thought I was. And that, like, I like that, but it looks weird when it's going up a slope. Gate, that's a gate, that's a gate. Lots of gates. Apparently there's a lot of barbed wire. You can hardly see the barbed wire on that one. Not that you can see barbed wire that much anyway. Another one that looks weird. That's actually one of the reasons I like the barbed wire on a lot of things is it doesn't look weird. That one doesn't look that bad. Probably because you can hardly see the the chain fence from farther away. And that one makes sense with the how it works with the slopes. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I really like this one. Well, actually, if it can't go there, let's see if I can start here and go there. If it's too, no, it's just too steep altogether. It doesn't even look bad steep though. Sad. So I guess I'm going with the barbed wire, which isn't a surprise to me. Was it this one? No, that's the one you can hardly see. Okay. And construction 39 sold is 10, so 29,224. 29,224. Now I have to find the exact fence again. No, not animals, decoration. Okay, now I'm going to have to take some of it down and put a gate in, because obviously I feed and give them water in there. In fact, I'll probably put two gates in. So I don't want it over there because that's where it gets steep or steeper. So I think I'll go like from here to there. So I don't know how big a gate that I would like would be. Oh, I meant to mark down the new price. So it was 39,224 and 10. Yeah, I think I just flattened part of the land to put the gates in. Which is awkward because of this, finding them again, but at least this isn't. I kind of want it to go the other way. So, right there. So close. Okay, let me just get rid of that and then try putting it down right in between them. And then I need another, okay, wait, which way did that open? Yeah, that opened in, right? Yeah, that opened in. So I want this one to open out. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, we want to get rid of one more. And then flatten there. No, that is not the right gate. Oh well. Okay, now I want to smooth in front of, actually I'll probably slope in front of, let's see, slope to there, here. And from here. And then smooth or soften. It shouldn't have needed too much. And this one I think I will just soften. Okay, let's see how that goes. Let's open the gates. And then see how driving in feels and driving out feels. Okay, that's all fine. And driving to all the spots that I may need to drive to is fine. So I can close these and I can put down those posts. And then look at this again. I'm now at 49821. And no change on money. So, I mean, that's 10,597. I think that's actually an okay amount. So I'm just going to keep it like that. So now it's just painting time. Okay, well, let's get rid of this. And have the palette area not have grass in it either. Ooh, I should have, let me turn markers on. Not incidents. Okay. So I know which one is the water. So that area, not decorations, painting, that area will get some mud. Yeah, I figured that was dirt, but I was just making sure. And then let's get some dirt tracks through. And then maybe some of the areas will have just a little grass so it doesn't look like it, it's painted too much. And then plants, the parts that are in the road, I'm going to put no growing, grass that does not grow. I'm pretty sure that this grass will grow. If it doesn't, then I'll change that. Okay, now for this area, I'm actually just going to put cut grass in because I did cut it. I might change it back to meadow after, no, yeah, no, that's fine. I might change it back to meadow in July when the rest of the grass I cut grows. Because this will be the same as planted grass, basically. Going to leave some areas bare. Because some areas were bare. I will be adding more dirt paths in. Like, I will be adding a dirt path from my shed area to my big field at some point to simulate the fact that I've driven on it a lot. Okay, I think I've gotten all the grass I destroyed. Okay, let me go back to decorations, fences, fence. And make those not corners. Okay, I heard two of those sounds. But I think it on this side, but I think it's fine. Yeah, it looks fine. Oh, I'll do this corner too. In fact, I might do this corner even more. Just because I will be turning this into an alfalfa field. And I'll probably eventually bring that dirt road out to here and then out to the field, but I'll wait till later to do that. But there we go, there is my new sheep pasture. Let me save. I think I will return the money I just spent. Which, let's see, what's it? 49821. And now I'm at 51195. But nope, that's wrong spot. So just a little over 1,000. Now now that's done. The next thing I was going to be working on was making the field for my alfalfa. Wait, did I put the autosave back on? No, I didn't. And resave.